Whatever. Are we YouTube? Okay. We copy this. Copy. Yeah. Wait. Start through. Next is. I should close this. Did I save that file? No. Okay. It auto-saved. Amazing. I love technology. Dear God, what a boon to humanity. Yeah. No. Anyways. Okay with that. Plus. Why do I have singular letters in my clipboard of copied stuff? Like, why did I copy singular letters? What happened there? Through announcements. That's that. What else? Oh, yeah. Give me a second. I need to recalibrate my imagination. Wow. No, wait. What I actually need to do, I need to check. Are we going to lag? I am pretty sure I have like internet issues. Something tells me we're going to lag. And the question is when? How soon is that going to happen? When? Why? How? Where? No. I have sent so many messages. I need to shut up, man. In my own server, I need to shut up. Link. Here. Wing. And I can close this. Yeah. And I can open this. Yeah. And I can paste this. Okay, there we go. I have it. I have everything. And now I'm going to miss it. Doesn't matter. Ah, whatever. Meow. I need to. What do I need? I don't need anything, brother. I am a saint. Saint, a divine being. Free from all necessities in this very moment. There is nothing to ask for. Out of this world, all necessities are satisfied. Every part of my being is, in this very instant, fulfilled. And shut up, man. You're saying nonsense. Yeah. It's fine. It has been so long since the last time I streamed. It has been like 2 days. Wow. So the question is, what's next? I should set up the game. I think, yeah, that's the first thing. I am in love with this game. What's up with that? Why do I like this game? What happened that I liked this game? I was wanting some sort of a slope like this to go off absolutely mentally offline without any other consideration whatsoever. It truly provided. It is an absolute experience. Next thing, I opened the game and I set it up. And I still have 4 minutes. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. How can I have done so much in so little time? What happened there? What did I miss? Game capture. Windows? No. Steam. What? Web helper? No, not that. Don't capture that. Are you gonna capture the game? The game. The game. What's up with this? I think it's stuck on capturing. Yeah, it's stuck on capturing for some random reason. Steam, what's up? Uh, huh? It doesn't capture what I wanted to capture. Ah, what there? Then this. Ah, because I have it overlaid. That's why. Unavoidably, that's why. Okay, now does it work? No, it doesn't work. Options. Does it work now? No. I have to make it full screen. Full screen. Yes. Now that it is full screen, full screen, full screen. Now that it is full screen, it works. Also, why is volume low? Why is it not working well? What's happening, man? Why is it not functioning? How to have a garage out. Ah, I needed to close Steam, no Discord. That's what I was missing. That was my mind telling me, ah yeah, you have to do something. And there we go. That's that. Next is okay. I have everything that I need now. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing else to really say, yes. We are fine. It has been quite a while, and it's good to be here, guys. Also, yeah, I need to activate desktop audio. That's something that I should try to do actually. Where are we? Wait, here. Desktop audio. Good evening. Next setting is music. I muted the game. Absolutely. I guess like there. How? Okay, let me see. It's incredibly loud whatsoever, and I have it at minus 20. How is it so loud, man? How do you make such a loud video game? Wow. Crazy. Let's make it, okay, around there, yes. That will be our point. Now, also let me today do that and something else. I don't think so, right? I hope so. I will believe that I don't need anything else, and with that we are fine to go. Yeah. Is it going to be playing the whole time? Amazing. I am freed from any responsibility whatsoever by the mere existence of this thing. Anyways, starting soon, DM. Can I wait? I have a quick fix for this thing. Let me. In a second. Let me. Group selected items. And now. Do you wanna fix yourself? True. Now it should never again change size. It. Hello, good evening. Anyways, no more. No, wait. Give me a second. I muted the stop audio. Okay, so you have the clock. I cannot hear it because of how loud this thing is. Amazing. Anyway, good morning. It has been a long while since the last time that I was here. I feel like I don't really know. I am a human that lives his existence based on sensations. So yeah, perhaps it wasn't really that long ago. I feel like it was so far away in time. I might have as well never streamed in this little amount of my existence. So we are back. Why? Because I wanted to do something. I have stuff in my mind, I guess. That's the best way to put it. And yeah, no, nothing actually important. So we are here to play this wonderful game. Wait, back. Where is here? Somebody drew a rocket, no? Okay, here we are. Good evening. And wait, it's not. Okay, there we go. It should be moving now, supposedly. It should be all fine. Let me Even I have to check his stuff. It seems to be working. It seems to be working. Okay. I can trust this then. So, yeah, this I don't know. Is it necessary to explain the premise of such video games? It's simple enough. How do you explain something like this? An arena survivor type of game where you have to survive a certain amount of time. You do that well enough, then once the timer runs out, you go to a shop, upgrade your character through different stuff, and make yourself win. Simple enough. So yeah. Point is, I know I like this. I guess that's the whole explanation. I like this game, and that's why we're playing it. Anything else? I don't think so. Oh yeah. Point being, we're gonna be playing this. I wanted to. I can absolutely say, I found myself highly interested, not just interested, interacting the whole premise of it, or more along the lines of, it's one of those games that you can absolutely tune out while playing. So it lends itself to being played very rapidly, very easily. The only thing, I guess, the only issue is me placing the cursor somewhere where it doesn't annoy me. I realized for some reason it doesn't hide it while you have it not active, so if I leave it here, it will remain for the entirety of the gameplay there. So, the point is, one goal is to try to hide it. Anyway, I was saying that yeah, I don't know. I haven't liked it so far. I have played an insane amount of hours in just one day, so yeah, I can absolutely say that I like it. But we're not here for the gameplay. I am here for absolutely everything else. I guess I have so much on my mind. It has been a very wonderful day, I guess. I keep saying it as something that happens recently, and I can only, in a way, reaffirm it even more today. It is amazing to see how much stuff is available out there and how little we are capable of understanding the capacity of capturing anything of that sort. Not because there is nothing out there that we can't understand, but rather because we lack in itself the capacity to focus on what we already could utilize in a meaningful manner. And that simple absence of knowledge, of willfulness, of motion to allow us to do anything of that sort is surprisingly negative. And I haven't tried to take something of that sort back. I haven't tried to finally. Is it finally? I don't think it's finally. It's just the act of, yeah, trying to focus, in a way, doing something of that sort. And actually, I guess you could simply say, yeah, be active in a way in which the final consequence will be basically that, to have anything happen in that very same form, and to have anything exist thanks to that very same event being allowed sufficiently enough, as in making sure that I am, with what I possess already in front of me, I am trying to achieve something, and trying to capitalize in that very possibility in itself without abandoning the reality of, yeah, this is something that could be, let's say, but yeah, I don't worry. I was saying, it's not something that really in itself matters in terms of, yeah, you know, it's so crazy to think that, I might have explored all of these things. It's more about, in many instances, I feel like the situation, the problem lies a lot more in, I personally didn't really care to explore what mattered in any way. And because of that, I lost something, I missed on something. And it's not just the sensation of having missed, but also the reality of, yeah, in many other moments of life, it's quite possible to actually take advantage of what is offered in life, and take advantage of what is possible, and try to do that proactively. Let's say is I would beyond the point of yeah, it's hard. It's incredibly entertaining. There is so much to know. I feel like it's the continuous rediscovery of yeah, life is so full of stuff. I have so many things. There is so much to know. There is so much to see, so much to, and so on and so forth. That it unavoidably happens consistently enough, I would say, yeah. Or at least in my case, I feel like it happens consistently enough. And yeah, I think nowadays it feels good. I can say this upcoming, I don't know, I guess the proper expression should be something more along the lines of this upcoming year, probably. It's gonna be crazy. It's to have the capacity, let's say like that, to have found the capacity to in itself maintain the interest alive in anything is wonderful, not just because yeah, it's good to have interest, but also because in itself there is an essential aspect to possessing the capacity to mobilize oneself in any one direction, that when that gets presented once again, it makes the whole experience better. It makes the whole journey once again enjoyable, absolutely enjoyable. And sadly, I feel like it's something that I do not see more in most cases. But point being, from a personal perspective, first and foremost, yeah, it's great to have that, and I can say I am very interested in this future, I guess. I don't know. I feel like, unavoidably, well, I'd say that. I have some other reminders in the back of my mind, like, yeah, you know, the whole chaotic situation of the current world and whatnot. Despite all of that, I feel like the world is not really this, or even if it is a mess, even if it is one, there are so many other things that, from a personal perspective, possess an inherent meaningful potential that a person could have the capacity to find satisfaction in their isolated existence without all those other external factors having such an influence on them. Let's say like that. And in my case, trying to balance something of that sort is, I feel like I end up gaining something. It's, you can always, okay, the idea will be, as much as you like to hear what happens outside and what is expressed outside, there is also this layer of, I need to have a level of synchronicity with what happens outside to demonstrate that I am in some way being moved by those very same things. And while in some cases it is necessary, unavoidable, in some others it comes more as an imposition which we personally do not truly necessitate, but we assume that is fundamental to our existence in some way, so that we end up almost, I guess the expression would be, convincing ourselves that yeah, we have to show so much care, we have to show such interest in all of these things, we have to be so embarrassed, we have to be so blah 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 blah, that in the end it feels just like somehow we are, the whole notion of you end up living more for what happens outside than for what really goes on internally, and that sensation I feel like is ultimately detrimental. And in my experience trying to get rid of that, I guess that yeah, the conclusion is what I already said before. I don't know, outside can be quite chaotic, but I don't think it truly matters all that much. I feel like, despite all the chaos or whatever you wanna say, it's still somewhat survivable, so to speak, and there are so many other inherently interesting aspects to existence that just to remain on that first layer of, or a more basic layer of, oh wow, there are these programs, would be kinda counterproductive. I guess that would be the expression, yeah. But I don't know. Point is, I would say, that's the whole premise, or the whole construction was to reach the premise today. Therefore, I can say that it is a good day, despite what happens outside. So yeah, something like that. And I guess, I don't know, probably aspiration will be something towards, and unavoidably, as much as it is a good day for me, it could be a good day for anyone, I would say, yeah. The issue is always, yeah, can others imitate such qualities? Can others in some way express these things themselves? Be capable of, let's say, channeling all of those things within the conditions that they inhabit and whatnot. I want to trust that it is possible. I don't think it's something inherently unachievable or inherently unique to one person. Even let's take the whole expression of why implying that it were the case that some things can only be found within specific human beings in the sense of emotional stuff, let's say, no? Why would it happen that something of this sort would only have appeared on me? I don't think that's the case. If you want something, I guess it's mostly absent in the rest of areas of life, in the rest of discourses, if you want to say it like that. Simply because, yeah, in the end, it's kind of strange to say, yeah, your entire world. You can say it, but is it actually something easy to believe in? Your entire world could be burning around you, and you could still be fine. It's one of those almost antithetical expressions, or I guess you could go as far as to say preoccupying once you hear, yeah, I see that my entire reality is crumbling before me, but despite all of that, I am fine. It's one of those, I guess, in manner, signal, not exactly signal, but along those lines of an expression that if somebody utilized would probably make one raise an eyebrow in terms of, wow, you truly feel like that? Are you actually fine? That sort of stuff, I guess. But in the end, yeah, it's from a place of real conviction. I feel like it's actually achievable. I don't know. I don't think it's all that crazy. At least in this case, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. The whole conclusion, as I was saying, I am fine. And it's good to be fine. It's weird to have almost forgotten what it feels to be fine. And I am ultimately happy to be back on that state almost, I guess, yeah. It's nice to be capable of remembering. I always have, at least personally, that encounter throughout time with, this is exactly how being incredibly well feels like. It's to reach yet another point of absolute balance with all of the things that appear in existence, in life and whatnot. To be capable of having something like that happen, end up carrying with itself a particular sensation that not only leaves an imprint on the person and also a sense of sensations, but it comes to with the added benefit of, yeah, all the other aspects of life end up feeling better. It's unavoidably everything else comes easier to me, even more, just because I don't have to die on these worries or whatever, you know? Yeah. I don't even know what I'm building. I know I have a build. I have no clue what I'm building right now. But anyway, doesn't matter. I am pretty sure it doesn't. Also, now that I am in the shop, let me drink some water actually. But I don't know. Okay, going back. Sorry. I feel like it's still, despite what I say, there are some other. No, well, there is so much to it. It's amazing. There is a layer of wow. I can have these sensations on me, and I can have all of these experiences happen within me, and such. And there is inside of that also a layer of I might be. I feel good, and because I feel good, I can unavoidably do some things that perhaps not that I was incapable of doing it before, but the mere act of trying to do something about them before would have affected me in a completely different manner. Okay, trying to do stuff related to all of that now is certainly, I guess the proper expression, yeah, is strange. And having that happen naturally or so consistently is still impressive. It's, I guess, I said before, as having the capacity to once again remember what it feels to be feeling okay, so to speak. Okay, also going back to, this is also a layer of an internal sensation that I can carry with me. All of that stuff is quite weird to have to do something about, let's say. Mostly because, yeah, it's something absolutely normalized otherwise, that once you find yourself there, it ends up feeling strange yet again. So, I don't know, living life such is always an experience. That's the point, basically. But to do so is still amazing, and to that's the direction that I was trying to take. Yeah, to also find yourself in that point and be capable of acting and whatnot, in reference to those things that otherwise will consume you far more rapidly, is still an incredibly dangerous. I don't think it's the exact term to utilize, but it serves the point. It's an incredibly dangerous game to play. I died. I think I should not utilize the spiders. Something tells me. Something called intuition. But yeah, I was saying. I feel like it always is strange to have that sensation, at least in itself, me. The whole aspect of, I can, somehow I can really good about all of this stuff, have an interest, a sensation, something, and develop myself in that one direction. But at the same time, while I do so, there is always almost an inherent danger that comes with that. And merely because it can present itself in that way, one already almost necessitates to, or requires to be observant of all of those things. In a way, they exist, and it becomes necessary to wonder why they might actually exist, so to speak, And I guess, yeah, I am just trying to stay besides vigilant. This other layer of I can very well observe. I am called to do much more than what I used to before. I have energy. Not personally, every single human being. We possess a limited amount of energy. It's quite dangerous to say, you know what, let's throw everything off board and go all out on trying to live life according to the desire to simply act. After all, let's say it, the whole starting idea is very basic, no? The whole aspect of yeah, I feel like unavoidably I have a good intention, no? I wanted to do something good, so why will it be bad in any way for me to dedicate myself to this one aspect? And one day, I already know English, man. I I already know English absolutely well. I am a master at English. No. One day, I guess the only issue is pronunciation, so, something like that. Uh, Not that it really is an issue, but anyway, welcome. Also, one day English people will understand it. Yeah, that makes more sense. Something more along the lines of, uh, not to try to be mean, but the whole expression of sometimes you're too. I was thinking about it today. You get accustomed to listening to one accent, one particular kind of accent, one particular kind of pronunciation, and when you hear something entirely different, you have an incredibly hard time understanding what that person is saying in any way. Something like that, basically. Maybe it's probably to some degree okay. I can accept that it is still from my guy's scope, but it also applies. Also, I wanted to ask show and tell, like, why the twin account? Who is it? Who uses it? Are you show? Are you tell? Who is it? But anyway, welcome. I hope. What happened? Did you become a couple? Why did couple? Anyway, sorry. I was saying that I don't know. Where was I? Along the lines of. Yeah. The whole. I was in the middle of saying the whole aspect of having a good sensation is also, or having the desire to do something that might, even in itself, it could be entirely good, so to speak, but it is still dangerous to do something that can lead to an absolute, I wouldn't say destruction as in, the most hurtful thing to experience personally, but simply the aspect of, you know what, I want to save the world. Example, and in the process of saving the world, I am going to kill myself because it is fine to do so. Something like that to justify such dangerous experiences, I guess. Also, I was listening to you for like 5 minutes before I sent that, and I still have no idea what you were rambling about. I don't know. Perhaps I can admit I might be way too energetic. I am way too absent-minded. It has been too much compressed energy. I can properly pronunciate stuff, but I need to calm down a little bit. Perhaps I can give you that much. I can give you that much. But I don't know. It's not like I never learned out that stuff. Also, there is this whole concept. Also, for example, if you wanna properly pronounce stuff, you have to utilize a different tongue position. But I don't like it personally, so that's why I tend to stray away from proper English pronunciation. So don't worry. I guess okay. If you can understand this, I can give you a little bit more only the whole concept of. It comes with a particular example. When you get too accustomed to one kind of accent, particularly for any quote-unquote normal English speaker, hearing somebody who speaks a Nordic language and also speaks English, like, I know the reason, I don't exactly remember which kind of people they are. I think Swedish people, for example, that kind of, holy shit. I didn't have any life whatsoever. I am amazing. Why did I get no life? It doesn't help. I don't know, man. Maybe you're good. Maybe you're I'm not that. I don't know, man. You're crazy. What do you mean you don't understand anything? You're gonna make me turn on my captions. I have some weird captions that I can try to utilize to help, but I don't promise that they're going to work at all. Give me 1 second. Let me activate them just for you. The captions barely understand you. What do you mean? What do you mean? I speak perfectly. No, I said I need to calm down. Sorry, I know I'm not calmed down. I need to articulate myself more, but it feels weird to speak so slowly. That's not me. I am a euphoric human being who mixes and matches sentences. Let me transcript here. Let me copy this. Maybe place it here. And where do we get this? Speak more Italiano. No, it could be. If I place this. Okay. There you go. You have captions there. Can you read that? You have an extra layer of captions. You have the basic captions from Twitch. You also have the captions from this thing, which is like Google Captions. No, yeah, but I have found out something beautiful. Besides me being ESL, unavoidably that is quite a difficult factor. I also have captions themselves. The captioning AIs that they utilize don't really have that good of a capacity to detect what is being said. So even with native English speakers, they fumble a lot of things. So maybe this works a little better. The multiplicity of captions, something like that, I guess. I don't know. And if you say that it doesn't need to exist, we will try, I guess. A little bit of cluttering doesn't kill. They seem to be the same. Then you know what? Pack them. Pack the captions. We don't need captions. There we go. Good evening. Oh, no, wait. No. I thought those aren't captions. What the fuck is that text? I'm not going to touch that. Anyway, absolutely anyways. No, wait. Now that I paused, let me actually check for that. I mean, for example, one example that I do know, Glasgow accent, that kind of accent, for example, is also incredibly hard to understand the first time you encounter it. Did you ever? No, yeah, I did. That's why now I can play games as in general. It was impossible to utilize it besides viewers just chatting before, and it also was like capped at not even 480p. It was like 360p. Now look at what we have. We have this. There is also multi-streaming. There is gameplay. The most important thing, there is gameplay. It's so wonderful. It did get upgraded. Yeah. And now it's no more a shame to possess. No more a horrible thing to fight against. It actually is a tool, you know? It actually is something that works in my favor instead of something that causes me internal suffering, let's say. Also, okay, I'm good. Yeah. I don't know. Not much to really say. I guess it's crazy. They properly illustrate what I was trying to say. Lucky, you haven't really upgraded yours. So, I assume that you're so. if you say lucky, you mean that that means that you're so, because I remember so hard like an absolute garbage PC. That was amazing. As in, sorry. Yeah. I remember you had a very, what was the cool story? You had a working one, semi-working one, and that one also needed like change. Yeah, it can happen. Just keep it trying. One day you will get there, and once you do, you will be so happy that you finally changed it. It's such an amazing beauty to finally change PC and whatnot. I don't know. I understand it's way too difficult actually. It's so difficult. It's so really hard to sometimes get the money for such stuff. But it's, as always, it can be. No. Okay. Need to lock the fuck in. I have lost like 7 times in a row already. It's always difficult to get an upgrade of hardware, but if you give it a good enough usage, it's absolutely sus if I don't know, upgrade the PC. I think I like that Windows 7 feel. I mean, you can still utilize Windows 7 on a new PC. It's not like you would be forced to have Windows 10. Oh yeah, but Windows 7 stopped being compatible. I mean, you can put yourself at risk for the sake of enjoying the experience that you want, I guess. I wouldn't recommend that, yeah, but you can do that. Also, no, yeah, okay, I remember, wait, let me finish what I was saying. I was the whole Glasslow example. People who have very weird accents, they are way too hard to understand for people who never heard them before, so it's a task to actually, no, I didn't die, I'm amazing. It's a whole task to actually train yourself to be capable of understanding what those entirely new accents sound like and how to understand them. Brazil's, no, I mean, Brazil is incredibly easy. There are some countries, for example, also something like Spain. Some, what is it? Latin-derived countries or countries that utilized Latin-derived languages, let's say like that, and they have an incredibly intense education towards making sure that people speaks English properly with the English accent itself. It's a slander, but it's the reality. Here in Argentina, for example, you don't really have that much people who openly want to make sure that people speak the language all that well. It's a very bare bone work. And you also have people like me who could probably speak it well enough, but choose to not to do so. So an extra layer of stupidity, I guess, in my case. Something like that. There is no excuse whatsoever. I just find myself more comfortable. But one day you will understand everything. Or you won't, and I will cry because I keep being misunderstood every single day and things never get better and so absolutely over. I don't know. I guess that's my point. That was my whole point. That, yeah, you get. Yeah, I actually finish it. I like not having something to follow. You get accustomed to the accents. The more you listen to them, the more you slowly start to make sense out of what is being said. I guess that's the whole synthesis or synthesized concept, basically enough. Even if they're incredibly weird, the more you listen to them, the more you realize, yeah, it does actually make some sense. Unavoidably, there are some mistakes, as being ESL carries the whole weight of, wow, sometimes unavoidably the sentence creation is absolutely broken, but there are still some other areas that are mostly based on the aspect of, have I gotten myself accustomed enough to listening to the way in which this particular way of pronouncing it does it or not. And that's the story, I guess. But yeah, I know. I guess that's that. Sorry. No, gaming. Can I actually win a run? I haven't really had that many troubles winning the runs. I think this game is actually incredibly easy. I have to say, this game is absolutely easy compared to anything else. It is absolutely wonderful, and I feel like, okay, a handful of things that I have realized compared to any other Brotato-inspired game and such, or even Brotato itself to some degree. Even on the highest difficulty, it is still beatable with most of the stuff, and I guess the whole concept of also it incentivizes enough creativity. When you play something like Brotato, you have so few varieties, so few things to actually change, that it feels absolutely meaningless to do so. Here, I feel actually overplaying it. There is stuff to keep doing and trying, and it's good. So, the conclusion is, you should buy, what's the name? Noobs Are Coming, for only $4.99 available on Steam. It was a well-performing game, so yeah, I mean, even if it wasn't really that well-performing, the developer already said there are more updates coming in the future also, so it's a good game as a live service, sort of addition to having library, for the sake of making sure that one has good games to play and accessible, easily accessible. Anyways, what am I looking for? Even amount, I guess. Yeah. Also, I keep moving the. No, I am not moving it. The issue is I am incredibly far away from the microphone. Why am I so far away? Give me a second. Actually, I need to. I am absolutely misplaced in my own room. Wow. What's up? There we go. I'm a little bit more well placed in my own living area. I mean, I don't know. I still have way too much of a hard time. I feel like it's. I was reading on that actually. Supposedly part of the issue is also unavoidably because I don't have a, what's the name of it, an audio interface and such. The microphone ends up requiring a little bit more resources and whatnot, and it makes it so that because of that particular thing, I end up needing to be so close to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be necessary for me to be literally like, in terms of distance, I guess like 2 inches away from the mic, 5 centimeters or less, for the sake of getting actually a good capturing going on. And unavoidably, to have to be that close feels weird. And it's like that eternal presence that you cannot ignore, that you feel like it shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't need to be so close. I should absolutely not need to be this incredibly personal with a fucking microphone. But can happen. It's as at the very least it works, I guess. So cannot complain that much. But anyways, absolutely anyways. So I'm looking for actually one particular item so far. And I think I found it on the very first run, and after that, no more else, and that's incredibly sad. But that doesn't mean that I want to show you. Also, I have enough amount, okay? Good enough. I don't have enough health, I'm probably going to die. Anyways. Point being, besides all the gameplay stuff, I guess it's amazing. I haven't, yet another thing that I haven't thinking about. I feel like there is something to, okay, more well explained. Because I tried to focus on what I was saying. Fuck. There is this thing that I saw from a, what was it? I think it was more like a random person simply who got a lucky upload in terms of it wasn't any particular authority saying that, it just was one random woman who got popular because of what she had to say about it. The whole prospect of journaling, that whole concept of yeah, you have to write it down what you go through in your life and whatnot. And unavoidably, I guess there is some reality to it. It can be useful, but I feel like there is also something in all of that present that can, I wouldn't say be, yeah, I don't think it's dangerous. It's more along the lines of it's still so weird to do something like that. I have that nagging sensation inside of me of there is something strange in there. I understand. To this day, I have seen so much stuff about that whole development of theories and whatnot. It supposedly is very helpful in many ways in terms of yeah, because you get to journal your things, you get to also slowly work on the aspect of, by journaling you have to write down what you feel, and because you have to do that, you have to sometimes confront the sensation that you decided to express as something that you can realize in the instant might not be all that accurate in terms of either it is lacking in description or the initial recognition of the sensation that you have is somehow overwhelmingly overestimated, yeah. And in doing so, you realize that unavoidably, by continuously practicing the whole journaling stuff, you end up reaching a point of, yeah, I can more rapidly express myself and whatnot. And while to some extent that is true, I guess, I don't really feel like it's it's useful to do something like that, yeah. But at the same time, I feel like there are other methods to achieve the very same thing. It's not like, yeah, if you don't journal your whole existence, you're gonna be missing out so much. There is this weird emphasis of, yeah, this is the only thing that you are missing to make your life better. And I listen to so many people describe it as such when they talk about journaling. I feel strange whenever it is brought up from that perspective, or yeah, merely for that reason. I don't think it's so absolutely useless, but I feel strange whenever somebody says, yeah, journaling is the most life-altering thing to do. It's the most life-altering decision that somebody could ever take, or something like that. But I don't know, I still have to give it a try. I still feel like it deserves to be given a shot in some way. it's strange, yeah, but it's not absolutely meaningless. There are still so many other aspects to it that give it a reason to try it out and what's not. It's just that, I don't know, okay. One of the few things that I can identify, for example, inside of that whole plethora of amazing, it literally spawned next to me. I love this game sometimes. There is this whole sensation also of unavoidably. I have a layer of judgment that comes from the life is not something that needs to be written down. But not really because I think about it personally, more like, yeah, this is what I have been told throughout my own existence. Maybe something along those lines is way too present, I guess. That would be a simple enough way of thinking about it, yeah. But it is still weird to say, yeah, I have the opportunity or the capacity to do this thing, and so many people absolutely missing out on it. I feel like it is overestimated by those who are into it. What would be a good example? It's like, it's not exactly in the same realm, but it can feel very much as, yeah, you know what? It always is absolutely the best or even worst, the most or only valid method, the one that I propose when I talk about therapy from a viewpoint of a professional in quote-unquote mental health. Whenever somebody proposes it from that point of view of, yeah, what I say is the only right thing. What I propose, journaling is probably one of the best tools, if not the best tool available to you for all of these things. I feel like it is pretty much that same way of associating with emotion. It's strange the language utilized to talk about it. I like it, but I also, whenever I hear the conclusions of other people, there is also a huge portion of it being missing from their existence. There is a very minor subset of people interested in it. Not everyone who I have found throughout my life basically expresses an interest on that. I feel like it is a way too particular thing that gets developed at some strange point in life. Not unavoidably, therefore, not everyone is interested in it. Not everyone is at all got, or has their attention caught by the proposition of, you know what, we have the possibility of journaling stuff. That's it. It's the best decision that you could take. It will change your entire life. It's meaningful, yeah, but I don't think it is the absolutely most meaningful thing to ever do. But anyway, point being, I guess it's something worth giving a shot, at the very least, yeah. The issue is finding a moment to actually do so, the whole expression of, I always have the possibility of doing this thing, and because it is such an readily available tool, I can endlessly keep delaying it. In the end, it's not that necessary for me to worry about it, to try it out today. I can leave it to tomorrow and whatnot. And I don't know, I feel like it's strange. Despite, okay, I just remembered something for what I was saying. I had a particular instance of getting that very same sensation of what you are saying sounds incredibly weird. There was a particular expression of I couldn't connect with anyone else like I do with people who journal, that way to self-isolate based purely on something that some people might not even get at all why it's necessary. That almost superior look that people get given because they don't choose the same things that those who understand it do. That is absolutely strange for me, man. And I don't know, I should probably leave that alone. Come back to it after having tried it out or something. It's not like there is absolutely no way to approach it healthily. It's just that, yeah, I guess sometimes those who become figures or representative figures for their ideas and whatnot are done so without people realizing that, yeah, maybe we could have chosen a little bit better. But who cares? The point is that it's getting fomented at all in this case, so it's nice. Also, I think I need more than anything else health, but I want to really kill myself for the sake of that. Okay. I guess it can happen. Life can be like that, or something like that, basically. But it's always interesting to see what can come. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's so strange sometimes. This world in its entirety is such an interesting place. There is so much stuff always going on, and there is so much other stuff available to us that can also have such an influence, and we tend to not be capable of truly admiring all of that in its essence or in its entirety, I guess. And to end up, holy, I absolutely got scared by that. Whatever. Why did that have to explode? Like, at all? That was so random. Whatever. I was saying, and I feel like, I don't know. It's easy to talk with people, no? It's a possibility to talk with people and to listen to what others experience. And despite all of that, I feel like sometimes it's also so easy to stay in the quote unquote more basic, not because it is truly something basic, but simply because it's faster to choose to not move away from the mentality of, you know what, this is the only meaningful or the only important thing. And I feel like there is way too much of an issue of moving through the world, let's say like that, moving through the world without listening to somebody try to declare to you what is the most valuable thing, what is the most important thing, what is the object that it deserves your attention the most, basically. And I have the sensation that unavoidably that sort of event ends up being absolutely not just stressful but counterproductive for most people, basically enough. And I don't know how really I can say that I feel about that. I guess it just does to some degree the layer of yeah, it happens. It doesn't really become an issue for me, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't constitute an issue in itself. It is still problematic to have that exist at all, so to speak. And it's weird, yeah. It's weird to see it so normalized to the point of observing no reaction whatsoever from those who seem to also experience that. It's weird to know that people can, yeah, that layer of having lived a fair amount of time seeing other people tell you. I have realized these things myself, but I don't think that they deserve at all to be commented on, to be mentioned. Not even because of the layer of, I think that it is going to be harmful for me if I go against the currently set order of things, but more along the lines of, I simply don't believe that it is necessary for me to bring up what's going on. This weird, the elephant in the room, it's present, but I don't even have a point in mentioning it. It can remain there as much as it wants. It's not a necessity. It's not also about the, I have a necessity. It's simply about the aspect of, for some reason, people are absolutely fine with not mentioning it at all. And I don't know. That's what I feel like is strange. It's something that I don't know if it is that fine to have normalized. That is my point, basically. I see such a normalization of those things that I am amazed. Whenever I speak with someone and it turns back again to, yeah, I was getting absolutely distracted by people telling me to go for this, do that, and whatnot, and it's so strange to have that happen, to see that occur and whatnot. It's the thing that becomes normalized, not truly because it is normal, but because there is such an absence of interest in questioning the existence itself of the thing, so to speak. That's crazy. It's such a world of things that we have assumed as normal, despite you just consider what they are for a second and you can very rapidly, by your own thought, come to the conclusion that, yeah, this thing is to some degree quite weird actually. But there is such an absence of interest in doing so. It's, I don't know, I feel, I feel weird about that, but it's part of life, I guess. Some extent of our existence has to do with, yeah, there are going to be things that are set to work in this one manner, and there is no point in trying to change them. So, it's all fine, supposedly. Even if it really isn't, it's all fine. We have to assume that is going to probably be better than to try to change anything at all, I guess. But yeah, that's my point, I guess. Anyways, I don't know. I feel like I don't even know how much time we have been here. I am going crazy about the fact that I haven't won even one run yet. And I want to have faith. Perhaps this is it. Perhaps this is the one. Perhaps I fumble it again. And I crash out absolutely. But we will keep trying. It's not that I don't want to leave without having won. It's that I know that I want to leave after having at least won once. Because this game is not that hard. I know that it isn't that hard, I guess. It's the whole aspect of, as always, having to talk while playing. Being absent-minded, watching something else, is such a beautiful gift of nature to know that you can absolutely lock in on what you are doing, because you need a minimal layer of attention onto what you are listening is beautiful. But to have that happen normally is, or you can have that happen, but not in this place. It's like an entirely different area. What comes into play when you have to, on one hand, pay attention to what you are saying, on the other one, do something else. Be it whatever also, I guess. But that's just a cheap excuse for me to say, yeah, that's why perhaps we won't win. No. We are absolutely going to make it. this is the run. We have to believe it will all go absolutely well. And as I tell myself that, I almost died there. So, I don't know. Shouldn't trust myself. I I can at least see what I need. I need so much health. I have 22 HP for something that hits, or for areas that are hitting like 5 HP, 6, 7 even, per area, per hit. So yeah, I have a reason, I have potions also to help myself, but that's not enough. This is not the way, brother. Armor? Armor works. How much amounts do we have? I'm actually starting to doubt how further, how much further we can get. We have to trust, man. Okay. I have only 3 more HP. I'm going to die. And if it isn't this wave, it's gonna be the next wave. I just know it. It's absolutely over. Something just hit me for 10 HP. I am cooked, as they will say. But anyways, I am getting too lost in my own preoccupations. Even if we lose, and it isn't this the round that I win, the next one I will win. So, it's all good. It's about understanding the process and letting it be whatever it needs to be. Sometimes it takes multiple tries. Talking about that, I have been having such a hard time actually understanding that whole aspect of doing things that require such efforts. I have, in the whole process of listening to the stories of other people, you can always encounter those who comment that, yeah, I myself did go through the process of exploring and learning and whatnot. What worked for me and what meant something for me and such. And there is also a layer of I too found out, or even if I knew what I wanted, I had to give it so much time, and it's crazy to think in words, in nothing but the fiction of the mind. It's simple enough to think about 10 years doing something without ever gaining anything in return besides the action itself that you're performing happening constantly enough, so to speak. But to think that some actions take that much time, that much dedication to be followed until they can lead to anything else, I feel like it's incredibly strange. I don't know, only more so in the whole, I guess, discussion of how, yeah, I want to be this kind of person, I want to pursue this kind of goal. It is to some degree necessary to be capable of understanding that. But it is still so weird to know that things can be that distant in time. It could very well happen that the thing that you want to achieve could actually take 2 decades to it's not the thing that you want to achieve, it's the notion of what you wish to keep doing for the rest of existence. That thing, before it becomes something self-sustaining, so to speak, I guess, that that will be the proper expression, I guess. It will take so long, and it will go for so much time without being anything but a thing that you cannot really dedicate yourself to. Let's say the passion that you have, despite it being your very own finally identified passion, it cannot be something that you truly pursue, because there is still that aspect of I know what I like, but it has to remain a hobby. It cannot be anything else but a hobby. And my hobby being what it is, and falling almost forcefully under that position of hobby, will absolutely affect me only in this way. And that's, to some degree, that's normal. But to some other degree, it's crazy to think how much we have normalized the whole aspect of, you will... It's not the possession of a hobby, the crazy thing. It's the notion of, your hobby will finally have the possibility of not being just a hobby anymore after so many years. And I feel like there is something wrong there. I don't know if wrong is exactly the expression. It's more along the lines of simply, it's crazy to think about the way in which it is normalized for things to be so difficult to... I don't know if it is to deal with. It simply is, it's fine. You can spend 20 years of your life having this hobby of yours and not even being capable of dedicating yourself to it, because you truly, even if you know that you truly love it, you cannot dedicate yourself to it. You need so many other things happening before that. And it's, I guess it goes along the lines of, I feel like the world tries to sell an entirely different idea. My goals, my objectives, my things, all of them are going to be this much present in existence. All of them are going to be this much impactful on what I do. None of them are going to have this many layers of influence on my final goal. But I will still have my final goal exist on my very own life, and I am going to, if it is possible more than anything else, the possibility to dedicate to that goal. But in reality, that's the least existing thing, so to speak. If you are lucky, you will have the possibility of following a true passion. Otherwise, the first handful of them that you detect, that you identify, that you try to align with, will lead to absolutely nothing. And that's accepted, normalized, treated as good. Not because it's wrong that it is treated as such, I guess, but simply it is done so. And it's... everybody is fine with the idea of, I will have this passion of mine. I will have to grow up from it, and I will have to move on to something else. At that point, I feel like it is more than anything else the eternal excuse of, I have to be realistic. I have to accept that my passion cannot really be pursued. You know, I have to do something else entirely. Such a way of thinking out stuff, out the world, out things, is not only strange but also unavoidably, damaging. And I feel like all of those things are so normalized, and all of those ways of seeing the world are so treated as understandable. Despite, what I said before, us also having to inhabiting this world where the promise is you are gonna have the possibility of pursuing your passion. I am pretty sure that's not the case. I see most people not doing that. I I don't think we will be in the situation that we are right now in a general sense of the world as a wider thing, as human beings, as a wider category and such. If everybody got to truly just do what they wanted the most, and even more, I was thinking about it from the perspective of, and it's so, anyways, strange to talk about passions. What does it mean to have a passion? In which way do we understand passions? We all act like we do, but it is still an incredibly abstract concept. It's fine to like some things, it's absolutely wrong for us to ever have an interest at some other things, and it's not that, oh yeah, these sort of censorships are wrong. I'm not saying that. It's the point of all of that is seen as okay. I feel like it doesn't need to be seen as a normal thing. It way too much gets accepted without any question whatsoever. When that doesn't need to be the case, that's the expression that I'm looking. And that's the notion that I am trying to point towards. It's way too much of yeah, you know what, there is no need to worry about that. And maybe it isn't a worrisome notion, but it is an interesting one. I am about to, you know what? Give me a different character, Aurora. I'm about to lose my mind with the fucking spider. Give me a second. Give me this guy. Give me over this. Give me as little to think about as possible. What a video game. I was saying anyways. That, I don't know. It's that sort of stuff that happens that I feel like, how come nobody says anything about that? And not that it is bad to say something about it, it's just strange to see it be the case at all. But I guess if it happens, if we are fine with it happening like that, then that's how things ought to be, or something like that, yes? Who really knows? We accept things the way they are very rapidly, and sometimes it might be wrong for us to try to judge why we do so. In this case, no judgment. No questioning about the normal thing, quote unquote. Be it whatever it is. But yeah, anyways. I don't know. Something to say entirely different, no? I feel like this is the run. Simply having access to this ability tells me that this is it, most surely. This attack is incredibly overpowered, actually. And I think, God, I can rapidly utilize it. Otherwise, we're going to be here for such a long time. Also, wait. No, wait. Once we finish the wave, I doubt how, not doubt, I just want to know how much we have been here. I am absolutely interested in knowing that statistic, I guess. It's crazy to think that I haven't won a single run yet today. I mean, on stream. Also, this is arcane. Okay, now how much? An hour and a half without any single win. What a video game player. Crazy to think out that actually. And I haven't non-stop talking while doing that. In which mental state am I? Wow, can happen, I guess. Okay. We need to lock the fuck in. This has to be a win. This has to be it. We're gonna be here until like 140, 150. I have to win. For the love of God, I have to win one. But anyways. I don't know. I guess, okay. Kind of tracing back on something mentioned. Without mentioning it so much directly also. I have found that it is incredibly possible to explore entire archives of information, not in terms of unavoidably internet is available to me just like it is to anyone else. No, more along the lines of it is humanly possible, let's say like that, it is humanly possible to discover and go through all the things, or not all, let's say, perhaps I estimated myself to be capable of only seeing a handful of things throughout the day. I could only, let's say, learn. The whole. A good example is whenever you listen to what some scholars have to say, as always, in regards to stuff like how much can we humanly learn before it is too much for us, before it is physically impossible for us to keep learning anything else. And I feel like it's not really the case that the statistic lies in between the 2 or 3 hours each day. It is a far superior level of exploration what we can personally do. Yet we settle down with the first hard thing of you know what, you can only do this much without trying out for ourselves. That is unavoidably dangerous, amazing. But besides those things, it also is something that can very well by itself be demonstrated to be wrong, let's say. And I feel like besides the criticism of people are so willing to find out about that themselves, personally, the real point is personally, having been giving it in itself a huge try lately, I feel like not only it is possible to do that, but also it is absolutely possible to overwhelm yourself with so much of what is available, because it is actually such a wide array of things. It's surprising, it's absolutely astounding to see how much can we find out once we try. That's the expression that I was going for. There are so many things at our hands. There are, as long as you know what you're looking for, there is such a wide array of things to discover. Yet when we talk about it, I feel like in most cases I don't really listen to people say, you can really learn out things. It's the whole negative point of view. Oh wow, this thing is barely existent. It's impossible. Information is still incredibly inaccessible nowadays. When I don't find it to be the case, personally. I find it to be an absolutely different story. There is there is a lot of work to in terms of interpretation. Sometimes something horrible that I have to accept. Not exactly, yeah, this is such a mind-destroying notion in terms of horribleness, but the reality of there is so much work to do to contextualize some notions into this particular idea that one can be thinking about, so to speak, or recontextualize it into the point of view that serves the notion that we're pursuing, basically. That much can be truly a difficult thing to have and a difficult project to embark on, no? But besides that, or having accepted that much, let's say, the whole prospect of, yeah, I have to keep on exploring what is out there, or I can do the exploration basically, feels a lot better, and it's far more feasible to do that way. Otherwise, the whole notion of, yeah, I can see what might come out of this world becomes such a burden when it doesn't need to be such. Basically, that's my point. When it doesn't need at all to be such a bad thing. Also, what am I doing? I collected ML. Wow, I didn't mean to do that at all. Wow. Anyways, I was saying, and it's crazy to see how much. Sometimes, as long as one is willing to do that, so yeah, I will reinterpret what I'm looking for the particular context that I want to apply it on. And it is possible to do that. It's like, no, yeah, it's such a negative thing. I don't think so. I feel quite happy by knowing that I can do that. I am satisfied with the notion that I can simply keep on looking out there to see what this world offers to me. And in that part, yeah, goes back to what I was mentioning subtly. In the public discourse, I don't feel like it is present at all, sadly. I feel like it's eternally accepted, normalized thing of, yeah, we have a very limited amount of capacities. We are incredibly incapable of doing anything to change that. And you are bound to only have this much, let's say like this, in your awake hours, from your 16 awake hours, you only have, realistically speaking, 3 available to learning. And every other hour has to be something else. You cannot really learn anything that well. And it's strange to see how much we have accepted that. That's where once again I feel weird thinking about it. Because I don't feel like it is the case at all. From a personal point of view, I don't feel like it is the case at all. But I don't know. We are weird people in general, so maybe it's just a part of the process. Yet another part of the process. Also, how long do these runs take, brother? Can I win it for once? Is this the run that I win? We have to trust. At the very least, I have enough projectiles. Do I have? Okay, yeah. I have 18 projectiles, so I do have enough of them, supposedly, to do enough damage. I don't, okay, no. I don't have damage itself. I have high amounts of projectiles. I don't have damage at all, actually, I think so. That's becoming a problem, probably, even. But we have a basic round of possibilities. We're gonna see what happens. Ah. But anyways, I don't know, man. I am satisfied with I got far more than what I asked for with this game, so I am happy with it. And also, I guess with the price and whatnot, also there is a fucking mosquito. I almost died for the sake of trying to kill a mosquito, which I didn't even kill. Okay, I ate. Amazing. No more mosquito sucking my blood. Amazing. Do I need attack speed? I'm pretty sure I don't. Also, just strict. We haven't dropped any frame whatsoever. I cannot be any happier with that. It is actually amazing. I was pretty sure that it was gonna malfunction at some point. But it didn't, so I am happy, I am happy. I have no clue what I'm looking for actually. I guess just upgrades to try to do a little bit more damage. And whatever happens, happens, I guess. We will see. At this point, after round 10, I think that the runs become mostly like at getting enough power-ups. Or, yeah, broken enough power-ups to keep boosting your character in any direction whatsoever. There are so many stats capable of making you win that you just need to get them high enough. But you rely consistently enough on the luck factor to do so. That's where things get complicated. But we're gonna do it. I kinda trust. I don't absolutely, but I kinda trust. And whatever happens, happens. Okay. You've done another wave completed, amazing. So, no. I like how there is no XP upgrade within the upgrades from the level up or rewards. That feels weird. We're gonna try to survive, man. Anyways. And I don't know. I guess today, as I have said, today has been a very good journey. Despite everything else, it's one of those days in which so much stuff gets compounded into itself that, I don't know, it's good to have. I guess the whole sensation. I wasn't really that accustomed to having it in general before, but it's quite good to have the possibility of feeling like sometimes days last 36 hours or so. It's way too often normalized to live in the complete opposite state of, yeah, my days are absolutely short, or absent of occurrences which I find meaningful in any way, no? And to have it be the opposite way is quite amazing in nature. And I feel like, yeah, it's great. It's amazing to be in the position to say, yeah, and you know what? Enough things happen that I can say, it has been very good actually, yeah. And not only it is good, but also it is quite. It leaves you with that desire, with that feeling of wow, I wonder what will come tomorrow, you know? Which I feel like at other times it can be absolutely absent. Even if personally it's hard to admit that sometimes one has that sensation of man, I would prefer to have some extra hours to live my own life before moving on to tomorrow. Unavoidably, there are some days in which one finds themselves to have that sensation, even if the admission of it isn't simple enough. The sensation exists, and that's enough to admit. Or that's admissible enough. And that's something hard to, I wouldn't say work on, simply to admit that is there. But it's great. On the opposite, as I was saying, it's so great to be on that end of yeah. Days can also be absolutely fulfilling. It doesn't need to be such an empty thing, a weird or a strange thing. It's nice. It's quite nice actually. Also, okay. Something tells me that we are going to win, absolutely. The question is, how fast though? We're about to see in terms of fight the first boss. If it dies, then it means that we have the technique, man. We have it. The only issue is going to be to gather everything to properly win like that. Wow. What a beautiful thing. Beautiful movement. This is it, man. This is it. This is the run, finally. After so many mistakes, this is how we do it. Okay, amazing. I guess, yeah. I like how I don't really have that much stuff to do now. I just have to keep trying, basically. Or keep going. More than trying, going, simple enough. Also, I lost size somehow. Can happen, I guess. And yeah, there we go. The wash, as long as it gets swept onto the many moving units, it's absolutely condemned to die, basically. Yeah, we have it in the bag. This run is one. The only quote-unquote issue is that I think I don't really have that many unlocks to do related to stats now, so everything is just out winning, sadly. And there is so much content in terms of characters, but it's doable also. Nothing to really complain about that. Just that doing it in itself is crazy. it's, I don't know, something about the repetitions in these kind of games. It always is crazy to think that, yeah, you will have to keep on repeating and repeating and repeating so much. In a way, it's understandable, but at the same time, it's surprising when it is actually what was promised. You, I guess you don't really expect to get delivered exactly all of that. It's easy enough to say that you're gonna have to quote unquote endure, no, a lot of the challenges that come with trying to be this bent on repetition. But at the very same time, to actually be in front of that is quite surprising. It's one of those notions that you can very easily imagine, but to actually have it in front of you, it feels entirely different. It's like, wow, yeah, I could theoretically base a part of my existence on the repetition of some stuff, no? I don't know if easily, I can do it. But to actually do it, and to even more, sometimes I guess it's also about the mere confrontation of what you expected versus what you ended up getting, or what you ended up doing, going through, and whatnot. I wouldn't have expected that I was gonna like this game that much. I knew I was going to some degree like it, but not to this degree. And I am, yeah, at least I'm happy about that. You know, it's not like, oh my god, how can I fall for this thing? Why did it have to happen like that? No, it's it's good enough. It's good enough. It's not, yeah, not really expected or not, but not really disliked because simply because it wasn't expected. You know, it's just this surprising in nature. But it's good. It's good. It's part of the continuous discovery of oneself, I guess. Something like that. Quote unquote. Okay. We have it in the argument. This is it actually. I just, I don't even, I guess yeah, I need to some degree to dodge and what's not what. I am pretty sure it's almost impossible for us to lose here. It is almost absolutely impossible to lose. But very well. The next question is, I guess though, will there be another run? How much did we actually, after this is done, not right now, after this is finished, how much time will we have spent here? That's actually an interesting question. And I don't know, I think so, yeah. Probably. We'll have to see. If it really wasn't that much, then most certainly, yeah. But if it was that much, perhaps, we will have to see, Sometimes you just over worry so much about things that haven't yet happened. And in the end, the outcome is so much different. It's so much better from what you were capable of imagining yourself that unavoidably it was all meaningful thanks to that. And so it now is the resource in having not just tried but found out what truly was this reality of ours, and knowing that it got to be such a thing, Also, I like how, despite me having so many projectiles with such a size, there are still areas of the arena that get completely uncovered. Probably because I expect way too much from what I have, perhaps. But at the very least I have something. I don't know, man. It's just about waiting for the end of it all. We are 2 waves away from finishing. Is there even something that I need to actually buy? I'm pretty sure not. At this point, even the final bosses are there. Yeah, yeah. This is absolutely done. This is it. Finally, it went well. All things that start well end well, basically. Well, finally happened. Also, after such a fucking long run or a long set of runs, winning one is so good, so great. Also, I just remembered, it's not that I really don't play these kind of games. I had this other one that I played recently enough. I don't know if on stream, but I played on my off time. Yeah, that is Ski Chill, and that one I do play quite often. Who knows? Who knows? It's something about the degree of absolute ensoulment that these games bring in terms of they are so dynamic, so little of them gets actually stored in the memory in terms of yeah. It's quite hard for them to be all that impactful in terms of wow. They have all of these important things to them. Not really. They don't really matter that much. Also, 4 bosses? What the fuck? Anyways, they died. Those were the 4 bosses. Wow. So difficult, brother. Ah, very good. So yeah, this was the run. Finally a good run. Finally. I can actually stay still. I hope there is an achievement for that. Wonderful. Gameplay. This is absolute gameplay. So much happening on screen, so much action. Wow. At the very least, also, yeah, I can say happily enough, this game doesn't have that many particles, so I am happy. Unique attack speed for empty attack slot, okay. Max HP, minus armor, okay. You can only equip upgradable attacks. What? What do you mean, loco? Whatever. Whatever that means. Ah. Okay. We won. How much did that take? Almost 2 hours. That's absolutely crazy, actually. How did it take so long? I don't know. I think. Okay. Perhaps. This is it. I don't know, man. I wasn't expecting for it to take that line, man. Also, there is something about endless mode. I really don't know if I want to actually do wave 30. You can barely survive until like wave 20, I think it was. It's crazy to think about wave 30. But no, yeah. I will limit myself to this much today. It was fantastic, man. It was gameplay for sure, but it has to be put to an end. So yeah, thank you for everything today, guys. It was all things considered very good. Yeah. So as always, have a good one. Have a great one. Take care. And yeah, thanks for everything. Rest, hydrate, be responsible and whatnot as always, and whenever we get to see ourselves, we will. And even if we don't, it was still amazing. And all of those things should happen, so yeah, do your part anyways. And thanks for your time, your attention. Bye bye. Also, there is a storm coming, wow. Right in time.